Welcome in, Beaver Builders. Timberborn is a game I've had for a while. I bought it in a Steam sale quite a decent time ago and just never had time to really get around to it. And I had seen that they had gotten a relatively big update recently, update 7, and I figured I'd dip my toes in here and see if we can do a little bit of building. I have played through the tutorial and I dinked around just a little bit, so I kind of would have a vague idea of what I'm going to do. In no way am I considering myself an expert or anything here, just gonna dip my toes in and see what it's all about. Let's go ahead and hit a new game. I do know that there are 2 different types of beavers you can play as. Folktales are what you start with. Iron Teeth need to be unlocked by progressing a certain amount in Folktales. I believe the Iron Teeth are a little more industrial focused and not as environmentally friendly as the Folktales. The Folktales are easygoing but hardworking. Folktales are expert farmers. They respect nature and rewards them with plentiful bounty. Their motto, comfort, food, and sturdy wood. Go ahead and pick that. I did play around. I think I was playing on this map a little bit. Just for the sake of interesting terrain, I kind of like the idea of this one. I think I'm going to go with it. Beginner friendly. These days, areas rich in lakes and rivers are scarce. What little remains shows that there is still hope for Earth, though. We'll hit next. I'm just going to do a normal playthrough, and we'll hit start. I believe in the story of this game, humans have gone extinct, and beavers have risen and taken over the world. And they are trying to build communities, and to do that, they're trying to restore some of the planet so they have habitat to live in. What would we like to call our settlement? Beaver Builders. There we go. We'll hit start. And I'm going to immediately pause. Let's take a look around here. Okay, so we have regular water, which is what we like. We need this for getting areas to be watered, which allows us to plant and harvest trees and food plants. There's also bad water. This is like, I guess it's polluted water. Comes up from various springs, and then there also is like a weather event that will make all of our water turn into bad water. So we'll need to have a plan for when that happens. It looks like on this map, the bad water... Okay, I think it's all coming from here. And it's flowing in here, and then you can see like, this is still staying clean, and it's kind of pushing the flow this way, which is becoming more and more infected, and then it flows off the map. So if we wanted to use all this water down here, we would need some way to separate out all this bad water up here. This is our starting district. This is where we need to start building around. There is some mechanic where we can have multiple districts. I have not experimented with that very much. We have our starting beavers here. It looks like we have 8 adults and 4 children. One of the first things we're going to want to do, like right here, we're going to look around for areas that we might be able to relatively easily flood. And this looks like it might be a decent one. We could flood all of this if we could get here and clean these out. Now to do that, we're going to need to progress a little ways. We need a way to get into the water, aka we need some stairs to get over here to be able to clear that out. That would be a nice early-ish goal. Okay, lots of water over here. Okay, so this is one of our sources of water. We have 3 water sources. Okay, and then we have one over here. Looks like it's hidden in the cave. It sure is. For an additional 5. So we have 8 water sources. That's more than the other map I was playing. I only had 6. That's where all the water on our map is going to come from. Oh. 2 more. Okay. I see, and it's kind of pushing the bad water that way. In addition, there are some ruins. This is a source of metal that we can use, and these are our permanent metal sources. So that's something we're going to need to progress through our tech relatively early. That is a long ways away from where we're starting on that side. Maybe this one would be a little bit easier to get to. Actually, this will probably be our first source. That's pretty easy to get to. Okay, no water sources in that. Okay, so what we need to do here is we need to have a plan for water in the drought season. When drought happens, we're going to be very, very sad about that, because if this river dries up, the land will dry up. If the land dries up, then we can't grow food. And if it's bad enough, it could kill off all of our plants. So immediately right here, I'm seeing a spot for a natural dam. We'll have to do a decent amount of work here. I got to remind myself what I start with. Okay, so we start with dam, but we don't start with levee. So to do this, we're going to need levees. And to do that, we're going to need stairs. So a couple things we're going to need to be able to produce. This is a nice 2 deep area. I'm just looking where else I would want to dam this off. Maybe another dam over here. Okay, I'm liking that. I already see, like, right here would be a good place for some water collection. These can actually collect in 2 deep water. Yeah, so I'd have to build a little bit of structure here, but if we could get these in here, like that one could go there maybe, and then that one there. We could have a nice amount of water stored in here during droughts. So I'm liking that. I don't think we're going to be able to start with a setup like that, because that's going to take me a hot minute to progress to that point, but I think I'd like to do so. Okay, here we have berries. We can make a bridge across. We'll have more berries. We have a decent timber stand, 2 of them, some dead wood. And this is a lot of wood up here, but it won't regrow once I cut it. And this is a decent amount of wood here. Okay, where do we want some pathing? So I think I want to prepare myself for this bridge. Now, either it's going to go here, and maybe I'll just rip out this one berry bush. We can replant things, so it's not the end of the world. If I do that, again, we're not going to be able to get across this river for a hot minute. We need a little bit of tech to do that. I think that's okay. We could cross further away, but I don't think I want to. Well, maybe we cross right here. All right, let's throw down some road here and see how I feel about that. And we're going to need this. And then if I'm doing that, I think we'll add something like this for now. I can easily take these out later, so it's not like this is permanent. Now, especially at the beginning here, before I can do any real waterworks, it's going to be really important that I preserve and use our green area to actually produce food and wood the best I can. So we're going to try to build most of our other stuff off on the dead land, with the note that most of what we build at the moment will probably not be permanent. Ooh, natural staircase. Yes, please. I'm very happy about that. Okay, so I guess we're not going to do any, we don't have the forest or anything yet, so I don't need to worry too much about that. And let's do this. I'm setting myself up for where I'm going to be doing some early wood cutting. I think that'll be just fine for now. Okay, so let's get food, and we are going to put down a gathering flag just here. And that will just try to gather things that are nearby. So for now, it's just going to be those berries. And then for wood, I'm going to do a couple lumberjack flags. We're going to do one here. I'm going to do one here. And I'm going to do one down here. Now, we only have 8 adults, so that's already going to be half my population, but we need some food. And I want to start cutting some of each type of tree so that they can start regrowing. Until I can do the actual wood growing myself, it's really, really important that we get that and get them regrowing. No staircase, no natural staircases on this side I'm seeing. Okay. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit of wood and a little bit of food. We're going to need more food than that, though. So I think we're going to get a farmhouse, and we're going to plant in food. So do I want to even cover up a little bit of our green land, or do I want to put it over here? It is kind of important that we have enough food. I think we're going to put it here. We lose a little bit of green space, but not bad. And I'm going to want to plant crops. Carrots are nice because carrots can just be eaten raw, as can the berries that we collect off the berry bushes. Things beyond that, though, are going to need processing, and we're not going to be in a position to do that anytime too soon. The tutorial wanted me to do a 10 by 10 slot, I guess that would be fine. I kind of just want to make it a bigger field. Let's go extra large. We can always shrink this later. It, like I said, it doesn't have to be permanent. So I think I'm just going to let them get to work on that. We're also going to need some water. So something like this. We're going to have a way across here at some point. Now, I'm probably going to want a water wheel, and it's going to probably want to be down here. I guess we could take out a little bit of crop space when we get to that point. I guess that would be okay. All right, so we will put that in here. We're going to need a road there. And then we need to have some extra storage for water. Storage. We can't just drink water out of the river. I mean, we're not barbarians. So we need to filter pump it before we do that. I could put some here, which would be good for the hauling. But again, we're going to kind of use up space I kind of want for crops. I also kind of like the water to be stored closer to where I'm going to build houses, so they don't have to run so far to go get a drink. So I think we're going to plop in 3 of those. I don't know the exact ratios. I'm kind of going off what the tutorial had me do. Okay, I would like the berry bush on kind of high priority. I want the wood cutting on very high priority. I'll have you at neutral. I'll have you at neutral. And I'll have you guys at slightly lower. The pump can store some water itself, as can the collection points. I think we can store a little bit of goods in here too. In short order, we will probably build ourselves some storage, or at least the carrots and maybe the wood. Yeah, this looks like a really good place for a dam. And then down here, for now, I'll probably try to build a thing right here. Reason being, make sure my farms do not dry up. To do that, though, I'm going to need to get a road in. Okay, I think I've already changed my mind a little bit. So I want to... Where are you? Demolish, cancel that. Not that one, obviously. All right, which one are you? There we are. Reason being, I'm going to need to be able to get a pathway right to here. And then I'm going to want to cross right there. We'll put in a dam. And that'll ensure that for the first drought, none of our food or trees or anything are going to dry out. Okay, and then let's speed this up a little bit, especially in this super early game. I'm going to tell them to work a little bit more. In this super duper early game, we're not going to have a ton to do because we're just going to have to wait for a lot of wood to be harvested more than anything else. So go ahead and assign 4 builders in here. I need to assign trees. Okay, so I want chopping, trees, all of those. I don't need to preserve any. As long as I don't take the stumps out, the trees will regrow. Yeah, just a little bit. All right, we'll have him get started. I love that they don't have tools. They just literally chew their way through it. That's how they do. So this right here can store 20 logs. And I think they bring some in here. Or they're taking those logs. Yeah, he's taking it directly to build locations. Okay. So we need 25 logs just for our first building here. And right now, we're employing everybody because I have 4 builders. So once they finish building a building, we'll have to pull people off of being builders and have them assist with the other jobs. But for now, the main thing is to get this building up and get the food started. As you can see, we can rip through those berries with some haste. And we're definitely going to want to try to store up food for when we get our first drought. Yeah, this is going to be a really nice storage area. And if I pop that... Okay, it would flow down to here. Okay, this is towards polluted area. And then it would be stuck. Fine. Flood that. Yeah, we got a lot of beaver work to do here. Beavers in real life are quite masterful at their craft, and a lot of places actually use beavers to help with flood management, to help with just water management in general. to re-wetland areas to help prevent drought problems. Quite good creatures. Although conversely, they also can be quite destructive in certain areas too. So a bit of a double-edged sword there, I suppose. How we doing? 24, 25. Okay, so we have room for 3 planters. I'm gonna pull down to 2 workers, I think, and we'll have 2 of them become farmers. And my farmers, I want you to focus on planting, and I guess carrots for now, although I don't think that matters. And at some point, we'll only get a 3rd one, but we have very limited population. At least some of these ones grow up. The beavers do get older, and they will die of old age, so it is kind of important that we have kind of a replenishment population. And to do that, we're going to need to actually build housing. Find that. Where's your housing here, buddies? Wood, food, water, housing. So to do that, we're going to need houses. And if there's spare housing room, that is when you will get babies. So we'll fiddle with that in a minute. But for now, okay, now we have another job that needs to get done. So we're going to go down to 1 builder. And I'm going to make this a very high priority. And I'm going to make this a kind of high priority. Very important that we have the water. We don't have any starting water. I seem to remember something about they need like 2 something water a day or something like that. So he just pumped 1 water. There's, oh no, excuse me. 2, 1, yes. And that little one just came over here for a drink. So it's going to go pretty quick. Ideally, at this population, 1 pump will get some surplus water. So we're going to want one of these storage ones up to be able to keep storing it. And once we grow even just a little bit, we're probably going to need a 2nd pump. So that'll definitely be a to-do. Yeah, look at that. He's dehydrated. We're out of water. We're out of water, guys. Okay, first thing tomorrow morning, you've got to get on that pump. I don't know how... We got a meter on that? No. Okay, I assume that we have this entire bar before they get thirsty enough to die. That may be a bad assumption. Let's hope not. Yeah, get your drinks. Get your drinks. Yeah, they're not barbarians. They don't drink any of this filthy, unfiltered water. We live in that water, dang it. And they do like that. So we have all these different needs here. One of the things they would like is wet fur. So once we have stairs, we'll be able to get into the river, and then they can swim in it. So we don't have to build like bridges everywhere. Although I think the bridges are probably faster than swimming, although I don't know that for certain. Yeah, you can see, look how fast he's deforested this area. So they make quick work. Hence why I wanted to get into all those areas as fast as possible. Okay, other things we're gonna need lickety-split here is we need some science. So we're gonna build an inventor. Oh, look at that. I didn't even mean for that, but it happened. Okay, we did get a storage bin. I want you to store water. So he'll only go do that if he fills up. So I think today we're already on kind of a catch-up mode. So I don't think we'll have spare water today probably. But maybe tomorrow we'll be able to put some away. And you know what? I kind of want this a little bit more than I want those other storages. Okay, so we have 1 builder. Okay, we do have 3 farmers at the moment, and they're not doing anything. I'm gonna pull one of those off. Yeah, let's just pull 1 off. I guess we'll just put a 2nd one here for now, till the inventor's done. We're definitely gonna want a few of these. Science is slow. I think that's the word I'm gonna use. We can build multiple inventors, but we need to support somebody whose only job it is to sit and think about things. So as you can already see, I'm kind of already in population crisis. How'd we do? We are still completely out of water. As they are happier and happier, they'll work harder. So we definitely will be able to improve that. We have 1 spare log. We have 16 logs and 18 logs. Okay, let's go ahead and queue up some housing next, I believe. All right, now for the housing, one of the interesting things is a building like this that is flat, the label on the tooltip is solid, means we can build buildings on top of this. So we can build in 3D. So I'm gonna wanna be able to build kind of a beaver apartment to make best use of the space that we have. So I need to do a little bit of thinking here. So one stair up would take us to the second floor. To do that, I need to be one back from the road. So if I was one back from the road here... Okay, I think we can fit in just fine this way. Let's leave a little bit of room here to have some other storages and whatnot. So if we were to do this here, it would be something like... So that's 9 homes. Okay, this does not have enough room. I think I'm going to move this other road. I'm going to put a second set of these, and the reason I'm leaving room between them, we're going to run a hallway on the second floor and make that accessible. So this will be enough to get us started. So let's go ahead and get pathing in. Put through the door. And here I'm just going to go like this because that's how that'll work. And then, okay, gotta go to here. Okay, that'll be fine, yes. And then I need to replace that though. Okay, so these are 2x2s. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2 path. I think that's correct. And we can take that out. We can take that out, yes. Don't have to be too exact with it, but all right. And let's just start with the one over there. Okay, we'll let some time go here. So this is gonna be our next major project, is getting housing. If we look at their needs here, Bada to you too. So hunger, we've at least eaten. Thirst, we've had a drink. We have slept, but we don't have any shelter. So that no shelter is negating all of our positives at the moment. So we're gonna get a big swing here when we get that. For wet fur, we're gonna need staircases. Can't fix that right now. Nutrition, so eating different things in their diet will give them more and more bonuses. So right now we'll just have carrots. Next thing I'll probably go for is probably grilled potatoes. But to do grilled potatoes, I'm gonna need somebody to grill them. So that's another job in addition to the farmers to grow them. So yeah, we just need to get some population, and to get the population, we need houses. So that's where we're at. Have we produced any spare water yet? We might today. We might actually get ahead of ourselves here. Yep, there he goes. Now I don't know if this is more efficient to have the storage over here. So I'm trading his pump time for everyone else get a drink time, because they won't have to run over here to get their drinks. I don't know. I could put these on top of other buildings too, so it's not like they have to be here at ground level, just where I decided to plop them for now. Okay, and we have a first house. So we have Mutuna, Jijel, and Glomer, who apparently is their child, have a house now. So if we look at one of them, tonight he'll get rid of that shelter debuff. Now we have 2 builders, we have 1 thinker, we have 2 farmers, which looks like they've taken care of the field just fine. I'm actually going to pull one of them off for now. They're not doing anything at the moment. I'm going to make him a builder because we're ahead in wood. Like, this guy's full. He's not actually chopping. And this one has completely been used up. I think they're grabbing from here because it tends to be the closest. And then they're grabbing from there because it's the second closest. We could build lumber storage, but we're going to use it up lickety split here. Especially once I get another couple adults, which in fact 2 of them grew up. Yeah, everyone's got a job currently. Once we have a couple more workers, we'll add back the farmers and we'll add more builders. We'll get them through here. I kind of want to watch him. Yeah, look at that. He's going to be happy. And as they get happier and happier here, well-being goes up. We're going to get bonuses to working speed, to movement speed, and to life expectancy. So it'll be very, very nice once we do that. He's at a +4 currently. Okay, so the next thing we would want is him eating a carrot, really, or getting his fur wet. Okay, let's take a look at that a little bit. So in landscaping, the first thing I need is a levee, That's like a must-have. The second other thing I would want is wooden stairs. So 70 research for wooden stairs and 120 for levees. So again, that's going to take us a hot minute to be able to do. We've produced 13 science so far. So I would love to get some more science buildings down. Once we're done with the housing, we may consider that. Other things, we do have the lumber mill, but to make a lumber mill work, we're also going to need a water wheel. And I think to get us started, we will probably just plop it here. I'll probably plop it right there. It's not going to be the most efficient thing in the world at the moment, but again, we just got to get started on something. So let's plop in that and get some wood. So it's going to go here probably. So I need power. We also could do a power wheel. This is like a hamster wheel. So I guess a beaver wheel. But again, I'd have to have somebody run in it. So even a kind of junky water wheel means that I don't have to have a worker go do that. So I think I will put you down. You need 50 logs. So we're going to put you at the lowest. I want to get the last house. And actually, maybe I take that back. Maybe we build that before we build those. We'll go to neutral here. All right, there we go. So we have 6 free beds. So we have room for 6 baby beavers. Okay, we're eating berries. We have 71 berries left. We have harvested about half of what is currently grown. So yeah, please grow carrots. 88%. So tomorrow or maybe the day after, we'll be ready for harvest. Look at this little night owl. Just a baby builder over here, staying up at all hours of the night. Good old Pebblewax. Your beavers are happier than ever. You've reached a new well-being high score of 4. We got goals. These are what we want to do. When we get this to 15, we unlock the iron teeth. So we just want to continue to meet their goals, basically. Another thing we could do relatively easy is we could try to get a little bit of quality of life. We could build them a campfire, a rooftop terrace. Kind of not how I'm planning this area at the moment. Maybe. There might be a way to squeeze one of these in here. It can't be on ground level, basically. And a tooth grindstone. We need that to fix our teeth. Let's add a campfire. And I think I'm going to plunk it. Let's do it right there. And that'll give us another source of some well-being. You, however, are now the high goal. The reason I need to get this up ASAP is that we need the lumber mill. So instead of building with logs, some of our buildings will need lumber. And that's just going to take time to build. And again, with the idea that this isn't going to be permanent, I think I'm going to put a log storage and a lumber storage over here. Because that's going to speed up our lumber mill work quite significantly. So let's go with a large pile. And we'll do 2 of those, and I want those to be very low for the moment. Okay, we're not full on water. I wanted to make sure we weren't capped. We're at the halfway point almost on the water wheel. So yeah, that's going to take quite a few. Oh, we have a spare worker. Let's get a builder, and let's get a gardener. I would love one more gardener. In fact, we'll open the job. Somebody grabbed it, but that means they're not working something else. Yeah, they're not thinking very hard at the inventor at the moment. But I think I'm okay with that because I'd like to get at least the first set of carrots in. Yeah, work faster, beavers. We are on an 18-hour workday at the moment. I do want to push them a little harder than normal. They're happier for their better rested. But until we get at least a dam up, we are very, very vulnerable to just dying to a drought. So, yeah, we're gonna push a little hard. We may even increase that workday if I get a warning about a drought. Because in order to build even just dams across here, would be these guys. Let's pause for 1 second. So, yeah, right there. Okay, you are just logs, so that would be terrible. That would be okay. So I would need 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 100 logs right there. So let's cancel. Let's cancel that one. Yes, they won't be able to get to the other ones. For the levees, I believe we need the lumber. How are we doing here? Up to 40. And we still have trees. That's great. No goods in stock. 18 goods in stock. Excellent. Yes, and look at this. He has almost finished all these off. It does take a decent amount of time for those to regrow. These are the faster regrowing trees. These are birch trees. White birch, actually. Very pretty trees. We have them around here. In fact, I have one in my yard, but unfortunately, there's like this Chinese beetle that got in here, and they dig in underneath the bark, and they end up killing the tree. And they're nigh impossible to get rid of, and they're nigh impossible to prevent. So, unfortunately, my beautiful looking little tree, which is about like this size right now, is probably going to die as soon as they find it. My folks' place had a couple really, really nice ones, and the beetles just massacred them. Absolutely massacred them. Very sad. One of my favorite trees, actually. Okay, we got plenty of carrots to harvest. We really could use all three working, which they are. Ideally, we'll eat carrots and not berries because the berries don't give any bonuses. They just stop hunger. So we're much more interested in eating the other things. Okay, the water wheel is up. Let's go back to wood. We need a lumber mill. So this is a powered building. That's why I needed to do that. We can get a power shaft to transfer the power so I could build here, but I think for now, because we're on the cheap, we're just going to walk the extra square. So, all right, so you are now high priority, and you're going to be normal priority. And you are going to be planks, and you are going to be logs. The other nice thing about this is that way we won't have these fill up. What I don't want is a beaver sitting here with 20 out of 20 logs not working, or having trees that could be chopped down and regrowing not being chopped down and regrowing. So these are only going to cost 6 logs. We'll get through that relatively quickly. Oh, we're going to need somebody to work here too. All right, definitely going to pull somebody off of this, make that a little higher priority. But actually, let's make this lowest priority and we'll reopen the job. So if we get spares, they'll head in there, and if not, then they'll go other places. Okay, hopefully we'll see this up and running. We just hit 5. Weather still looks clear for the time being. We're just playing on normal, so I don't think it's going to be anything like absolutely insane. But that being said, we do want to be prepared here. 2 more lumber. No, excuse me. 2 more logs. There's the one. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and let them get these in next. We don't have a warning or anything at the moment, so let's do that. We have 1 vacancy currently. Let's store water. And you know what? Let's just get done. Let's just get done. I want to say that these store like 30 water. So if it's 1 water per day per beaver, then that would be almost 2 days worth of water for us. If it's 2 water per day, then that's like 1 day worth of water. What I don't want is I don't want our pumper sitting here not pumping. I want this running 24/7. Because we just don't have any spare labor, so we need to try to be efficient with what we have. Like this guy right here, there's no other berries. Like we're good. So let's up this slightly. Yeah, and pull him out of there. We have 72 berries at the moment, but this is full. So we need storage is what we need for that. Your water. All right, so we do need to make a decision here. Do we build some storage, which allows us to pull in more berries, and we'll probably need storage for carrots too. So I think I've already answered my thought. Let's do some storage. So a medium warehouse Now these, just like these, can be built vertically. So I think we're gonna go like right here. This will make it kind of easy on me. We'll do 2 storages. You will be carrots, and you will be berries. If I can find them, berries. And I would like, I guess it doesn't matter, either one. 10 logs. Okay, our lumber mill's up and running. How much power are we producing? 261 watts. We're using 50 at the moment, I think. Yeah, 50. So plenty for this for now. We can also make this more efficient by increasing the flow. The way to do that is you narrow the path of the water, which will make it speed up. But again, we need to be in the water to be able to do that. So yeah, not yet. Our first warehouse is going to finish easily tomorrow. Low on woods, low on cut lumber, low-ish on woods, low-ish on lumber, and out of lumber. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to take him down to very, very low. I hate to do that because then I have to like realize when I need to come back here, but that's okay. And actually, you're looking kind of juicy. Looking kind of juicy. If we got a staircase, we could get up there and start chewing this down. These are going to be a one-time thing unless I get irrigation to them. But those drop multiple logs. Okay, carrots and... I mean, we're kind of treading water with the food, frankly. Alright, I think I'm going to take this guy out. I'll mark a resource for destruction. We'll get rid of that. I'm going to go ahead and put in potatoes here. And we'll get started on that. I'm pretty sure they grow slower. So even if I put them in now, it'll take me a hot minute before we get them. Like a hot potato. Let's utilize the space. Again, just I have to remind myself this doesn't have to be permanent. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now, I do have them prioritizing planting and carrots specifically. So even though there's things to harvest, they're going to plant this first, but that's fine. We need to get started or it'll never get growing, so. I do see water over here. That makes me happy. A couple in there. All right, we're up to 69. Nice. Science. Oh, I don't have a path. All right, there you go, and there you go. Okay, now we have too many builders for sure. Well, actually, no, you know what? No, stick on high, but make it, excuse me, low priority but high employment. And we'll just up that. And we don't need you here yet. Okay, with that being done, I think I'm going to go ahead and put in just our junky little my first dam. What these are going to do is they're going to keep a certain height of water behind them. And then when the water comes up, it'll flow underneath this little walkway. So this is not going to be totally blocking water like a levee would. But it'll at least keep a little bit of water in here if, say, our water source gets cut off. We'll have the amount of water that fits in here, essentially. Once we have this, I would say we have the bare minimum to get through the early game. Okay, to that end, we can't get the levees yet. Another early thing we want is going to be the forester, and we can get that. Let's unlock the forester. Yes. So what the forester is going to allow us to do is replant trees. And I think you can already see what I'm going to do here. Plop you down. And I think I'm going to actually go for him before the dam. We're going to go a little bit greedy here. This does need planks. I have enough planks. 10 logs. We'll be all right. And once that's in, I think I am going to stick with birch over here, and we're just going to have a huge plot. In all honesty, just fill it up. I don't know if he can go that far, etc., etc. Looks like he can. Oh, I also see we can path you in theory. So once this is built, we'll be able to get to the other side. I'll probably add a staircase here once we get back to 70. And that way they can path over here. Maybe we'll move the berry flag to like right here, and maybe he can service both sides. And that'll give him an excuse to go through the water and get wet. Interesting that we're having these come back in. We did play with the employment though, so I don't know if this is too much crop for them to be able to manage, or I just filled with the employment too much. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Like if these are never getting harvested, we may as well take them out and use the space for something different. Time will tell. All right. Yep. Get a little bit of social time in. So campfire, they're liking it. Another easy one we could do, we looked at that before, was the tooth grindstone. So I assume I can walk on top of this? I'm gonna put this in a little bit of a weird spot. I'm not sure I can build on top of it, but I do want to plop it in there. Just because if somebody has a broken tooth, we could easily fix it with that. And it's 5 logs. It's not expensive. 18 are still over there. Okay, carrots are okay. We are harvesting what's left of the berries. We've only got 3 though on this side. We also have the forester in. And he's planting more birch trees. Right, you get him, champion. Yeah, right now we have 4 vacancies. What are we doing on housing? Okay, so we do have spare housing. 2, but 2 is still spare housing. I think we're gonna go for wooden stairs next. So we're back to 69, nice. 70, all right, get me stairs. Now these are also gonna need planks, I'm pretty certain. Yeah, 4 planks and 1 log. And then we need to connect you and you. All right, we'll see about moving that berry collection thing to like right here or right here. No goods inside. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's delete you right now. And let's see if that'll work. So I have like a collection flag. I see. So the answer is no. I could only reach to like right here. All right, that's fine, TM. I am just going to move him so we can do some work. These will have to be built before he can make it over there. Once those are regrown, we'll plop another one down. We may also just remove it for more efficient crops. A lot of wasted space here, and like I said, the berries don't really make us happy, so yeah, it's just basic hunger need. Whereas the carrots have nutrition carrots. How we doing? 91 carrots stored, 70 berries stored. What did we fill up? We filled up. Okay, so that means this is another to-do project. I think we're gonna wait though. This is important to me. Yeah, please, this first. We're not in food danger particularly, but I'm in dying to a drought danger until this finishes. So you are 20 a pop. You have nothing to harvest and it's gonna be a while. You guys are okay. What do you have? Broken teeth. Oh, friend, come over. Come over. Have you tried our new tooth grinds? Oh, look at that. Yeah, just get that fixed. Razor sharp. Be ready for battle. That tree will never know what hit him. Why torture yourself with broken teeth when you have this tool? I can only imagine how horrific that would feel. Ugh. Dentistry, not my favorite topic. All right, well, he fixed that. I wonder if woodcutters have a higher chance of getting that malady. Does it say what that does? Just a bad malady, apparently. It gives him -1 for it. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's going down. And you don't even have that. So I'm kind of guessing that comes from using your teeth to do wood cutting. That's okay. That's okay. We will definitely use that. Campfire. When the little kids are playing at the campfire. Checks out. Loved a good campfire as a kid. Excellent. He's got maybe a third or a quarter replanted. Okay, another... No, I guess not. I was gonna say we could take this out, but what does that do for me? It would green up this a little bit, but not much else. It would also divert water away from where I'm currently living. We want water coming this way at the moment, so we're not going to fiddle with that. $17 out of 20. Okay, let's pop it in even faster speed here. We're just gonna have to let them do some work. Yep, you go get that, boys. We're not getting as ahead in water as I would like either. Another... we could. What's your problem? Unconnected building. I don't agree. I just need a second to think. So you should have wet fur. Yeah, he's got a little bit. Okay. It's not going to be great right now. There's going to be no reason for anyone else to come over here, but at least he can get a little bit. I don't know how well it'll show on YouTube, but you can see that the water's speeding up because it's trying to go through these 3 slots instead of 5. So this is how we're going to speed up water for water wheels and make extra power more efficiently. But that's not this area's goal. This is, I just don't want this place to dry up right now. It's like I know. It's like I know. We have 2.9 days until the drought appears. All right, we are going to go hardcore. 20-hour days until this dam finishes. How we doing? We have some wood up here. We have no wood over there. Oh, we are in a dire strait. We are in a dire strait. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 14 does not get me through there. Okay, you no more of that. We're gonna take a break. Can I not go down on this? Okay, low priority. I want him out of there if I can. I don't think I have a way to take him out of there at the moment. Okay, one thing we can do, because we don't have enough wood, we're not going to make it across. One thing we could do is if we had a staircase up here, which is slightly cheaper, because this is going to use some of the lumber we already have done things with. We'll plop this here with a path there. All right, you delete yes. And then we're gonna lumberjack flag there. And we'll add a path up here like so. And we will choose to cut all the lumber up here. So like this is worth 8 lumber, but once we cut this stuff, it won't grow, so. Okay, and you, very high priority, please. And you're gonna have to come down for just a second. Once we have this, then we'll have a way to get up here. I think I'll probably even drop another lumber flag. Yeah, we'll make you guys slightly lower priority. I guess there's no reason not to just drop it now. So you, lumber flag, another one. There we go. All right, now we'll be fine. 1.7 days. That's making me really nervous. Making me really nervous. Come on, boys. 20 more logs. You're hauling 4. Just get this done and then we'll be just fine. 1.5 days. Okay, okay. All right. Everyone can chill. No, 16-hour day, please. Everyone can chill. It's all right. So, again, I don't know how well this shows up, but the water's coming over the top of this, but underneath the walkway. So this is not blocking the whole block like, say, a levee would. A levee would be like this, a full block. But if I just did levees all the way across, it would flood. And buildings won't work when they're flooded. I don't think crops grow when they're flooded. So that wouldn't help us. Other things we have coming up, floodgates. So with a floodgate, we can raise and lower this to let water through. So that's a way we could do it. We have double floodgates, triple floodgates, and what is this? Sluice is how that's pronounced, I think. These are super good. Like, super good. But to make these, we need to do metal. And to do metal, we need all kinds of things. So we need a scavenger flag for 250 and a smelter for 300. We have 95 points. So we're not going to be able to get that anytime soon. So for the next thing we're going to work on, we need levees and we need a floodgate. And yeah, just level 1 floodgate would be enough. So 150 points for levees. That's our next stop. We already are in the water, so I'll just run a path through the water up to here, and we'll just do a levee right here. And then I think this will mostly be levees, and then we'll put some dams on it for now. A sluice would be better, but again, we're a ways out from sluicing. We are sluiceless. All right, we chug through all that. So let's turn this way down. And let's grab the gatherer's flag again. Did one of those berries just grow where I used to have this flag? All right, put it here. That's fine. All right, let's... Oh boy, it's already done it. Okay, oh, that's because I'm playing on fast speed, not my normal. So all the water that normally comes through has disappeared. And as you can see, look, everything is dying. If the drought lasts long enough, it will actually die. And if it dies, then it is obviously dead. Whereas down here, because we have industrious beavers, we've managed to save ourselves some water. So this isn't going to go anywhere. This water, I believe, is still draining. Yeah, even the bad water is going down. There's a little bit of water in here, but it won't stay for too long. That'll be gone here shortly. So the only water that will be left is what we've trapped in this area. How do we do on storage? Horrible. We have 11 stored. Yeah, that's kind of making me feel like we probably need another water pump. I think I'm going to do it. Go ahead and give me another one. We'll need a path to the doorway. We'll let that happen. Now I'm going to need a bajillion planks, and we do actually have some lumber now. So let's go back to turning this on. Looks like somebody was working here anyways. The levees are going to need a lot of lumber. And like I said, if we built one here that was too tall, we could store water in all of this area. So that'll be quite nice. And what I'd like to do is move these 2 pumps over to here. Because they can reach down too, we'll have a much deeper pool of water hopefully available. So when we go into drought situation, we won't be sucking off the bottom like we're currently doing. Yeah, let's zip this forward a little bit faster. I guess the question comes, what next? We could use more carrot storage. I think that's what's next. So another medium warehouse. And we're just gonna stack. I think I'm just gonna stack. There's probably better ways to do this. I don't think I want extra berries. I'm less interested in that. So we are gonna need a staircase, and I can't just do it straight in, so we're gonna need one of these too. Okay, timeout. That's not gonna work for the time being. I don't have the structure I would need for that. So we'll do one. It just can't be in that style. All right, we'll plop one there, I guess. I guess that's okay. And you're gonna also store carrots. And then we're gonna need more storage than just that though, because we also are gonna have some potatoes come in. We'll do that. All right, and you are gonna be regular potatoes. There is a tool we can unlock. So if we go to water, the stream gauge, if we had one in here, we could get accurate readings. I believe depth and flow rate. But again, tech, 150 points. Not happening. Not happening. Not right now. The next thing I want is... I'm just debating whether I want to do the level 2 stuff. I think the next thing I want is levee and dam. So we're committing for 270 points here. But this feels like such a good early project. This is just such low-hanging fruit for so much water storage. Yeah, plenty of berries over there. Nobody's over here, but that's fine because they're picked. No wood regrown. No wood regrown. Okay, here we go. We do have some wood regrown over here. Perfect. And there is a worker in both of these. Cool. We're not able to harvest these furthest ones. We can move one of these like here and that'll solve the problem. I'm gonna leave it here for now though, because once they harvest these, I want them to work on this. Yeah, help with that. Free wood is free wood. Building needs power, right. And it's unpowered because we don't have any water flow. No water flow, no turning of the water wheel. Okay, let's zip forward a little bit here. Warehouse is about half done. Okay, it's done, and now we can store potatoes. Now, to make use of the potatoes, go in there, so we need to go food. We're gonna need a grill. So, yeah, I'm gonna do, actually, hang on, not like that. I'm gonna do a grill, and it's F to mirror the building. So I'm gonna put the door closer to where we're storing things, and then storing in this game is a single use. So I need a separate storage, and over here, we're gonna store grilled potatoes. Get your JoJo on. And grilled potatoes, yeah, we need a person to work it, and yeah, he's gonna have to burn a little bit of wood to do it. But if we look here, grilled potatoes will give us another +2. So quite healthy for us in that regard. The drought has ended. Okay, let's actually watch the water because we kind of missed it last time. I gotta remind myself where you. Okay, someone comes from over there. Wasn't it over here? Where you at, water? Yeah, okay, so that's cool. See how the green is spreading? So here's one of our water sources coming down, and here's one coming back in here. It's kind of a cool, almost like a stop photography with the land moving like that. It's right currently filling up this part, and when it does, it'll overflow. There we go. Flooding slightly. Other water source also coming in. Yeah. And then, okay, so... okay, I'm seeing another thing we're going to need to do. We're going to need to build a dam here and here to hold this water in. Although I guess it won't be able to drain out. Like, do you drain out this way? You do. Okay, so we're going to need like a dam somewhere here or maybe here. Just somewhere to keep all this water in this lake. I think that's going to be the next goal. So this will help, but it would only keep the water in this little area. To keep water in here, I'm going to need some damming work. Maybe we go here and here. That's like super close and super easy. Anywhere in here would actually work. And really, if I wanted to keep these trees alive and growing, we could just do it back here. Also, what is this? I think that's okay. Yeah, he's on it. Oh no! Oh no, what did you do? I didn't think about that. Omadada Bada too, yeah. Oh no, okay, do I need to put a dam in this? Is this gonna drain somewhere? It is, okay. Not quite what I wanted to do, but that's okay. That was my fault, my bad. Let's go ahead and add a dam here, and then we'll take this out and we'll add one there. Actually, I guess we don't even need to take this out then once this is built. Let's rush that so we can hopefully save him. Okay, well, that is a good lesson. This AI is not smart enough to not strand people. All right, you're going to grill potatoes. And I guess if we already have road over here, maybe this is where we'll do the other bit of dam work. So we'll just do like that. So as the water is flowing right now, it should be able to push it over the dam into here. And then that'll keep this area as a minor storage. We will need another one over here though, because otherwise it will backflow out that way. Yeah. Hurry, boys. He's getting hungry. It is a little weird that they can't just like jump into the water, but sure, let's just go with it. Let's let it be. He's thirsty. All right, he's saved. Who do we save? It was Matuna. Go get yourself a drink, Matuna. There you go. And with Matuna saved, we go up to 7. 15 to unlock Iron Teeth, so we're doing all right for ourselves. Other projects to do, we're definitely going to need to expand the housing. I think we're going to do the second set of level 1 housing. We do have some lumber. We have lumber coming in. Yeah, we could totally do that. So it'll be something like housing. It's just going to be the same thing mirrored. Again, we're going to have a raised hallway up there with stair access. So this looks funny at the moment, but next thing we'll do is we'll have a second story on it. So we'll go ahead and do this. Everyone already has access. Yep, that'll double our population. So that's definitely gonna put some food strain on us, but we also have access to a second area for more food. So more planting over there. And you can see, like, I'm rapidly already running out of green land, so we're needing to expand into other green areas, but we're also going to want to find ways to get water to some of these other areas that are currently not irrigated so we can keep expanding. So we are over an hour on this first one. Kind of a light little title here. I like the engineering. I mean, there's plenty of things that we haven't played with. Wind power, actually transferring the power with power shafts. We have gravity batteries that we can use. The metal work. Where are you under? Landscaping? Yeah, once we can build explosives, we can actually terraform and really get the projects running. We already have kind of our first bigger project, which is going to be getting this lake into a storage. So it's going to be a 2-high dam right here. And then we're going to need some backflow preventing on the back end. But in fact, ooh, maybe I could even stretch it to here and we could store all that. Yeah, you can see how your projects rapidly grow. Once you start thinking in terms of like, oh, I need to store more and more water. And then once we get the floodgate, that can also be some different styles of storage and whatnot. We also could do a project to speed this up once we need more power, and or move this because maybe this is farmland and maybe I'd like my industry to be somewhere else. But yeah, food for thought for another time. As always, if you enjoyed yourself here, don't forget to leave a like. As this is kind of a beginning of a possible small little series, I'd love to hear some comments. If it's just no interest there, then we'll just move on to another title. And if people are enjoying it, I'd definitely like to do at least a few episodes here and explore it a little bit. I like the chill vibes. It's a pretty unique theme, and I like the idea of just these engineering beavers. And if nothing else, maybe our goal would be we're going to try to get to 15 happiness, wellness, so that we can unlock Iron Teeth maybe for a future series when they have another big update. All right, builders, thanks for your time. If you want to go above and beyond, remember you can always leave a super thanks. Join me live for a super chat or consider becoming a member. Members get early access to videos that I'm working on. Anyone's free to join the Discord, but if you're a member or a Patreon, you can check that in the channel info. You can get into the finals channel. I've got some files from various games we've played, and you can grab those and use them for yourself. All right, guys, this is the Beaver Builders out. I hope to see you in the next one.